And we're live. Hi everyone, this is amateurgamer, and now we're returning to Beyond All Reason cast, and now we're moving on to a 2v2 on the Charlie in the Hills map. On the bottom side, red is owned, get money. Yellow is Snace 7, unless it's... Anyways, I'm not gonna look too much into names. Green is Saber-Tooth Proton, and blue is Beatar. Alright. So we have seen this map before. A lot of 4v4s where we had one player from both sides on the high ground. When it's... I'm glad I don't understand this because I'm worried it's gonna spoil anything. For those of you who do understand this, try not to read it, because sometimes it might give things away. Am I? Yeah, okay. 1 times 3 speed. So yeah, 2 players is interesting because there is quite a bit of resources to go around. I mean, maybe if you go for air, which I don't think is a good idea because it will leave you quite vulnerable. But if you get really greedy, you could take these to have more metal at your disposal. We do see some ticks here, but... Okay, so they have been spotted, which really sucks because... I mean, depending on how they... Oh, I see. There's the radar. I was wondering how they were discovered. Yeah. Radar is pretty useful. You definitely want it down as soon as possible. 2 sentries might be overkill, but hey, I mean, if... What is red doing? What? Sorry, what is red doing? I'm actually very confused. Red isn't building any construction bots. What? So red just builds some defenses, a bunch of guards, have no economy to speak of. Yellow is going... This is gonna be a very quick battle, isn't it? Because yellow went for Overwatch, and that's really expensive, especially when it doesn't finish. That is not gonna go well. Blue is pushing aggressively. Wait, red is now... I mean, because of red's lack of economy, overall red's troop count is very low. And looks like the battle of commanders. And green definitely came out of that one. Is this just a very one-sided battle? Because that's what it feels like. Losing a commander already. And then now green just have... And when did this factory go down? You know, I picked these battles at random. So a couple of things. Don't do what red is doing. Don't build a ton of defenses. Focus on... It's okay if you get a couple of defenses, like what yellows did. But yeah, mostly focus on... Like, it's fine having 1 or 2 guards to prevent enemy raids. Oh, great, yeah. But mostly focus on your economy. I don't know what red is doing. And for yellow, definitely produce units. I'm surprised they still have a construction vehicle. Otherwise, they'd be in a really bad spot. But yeah, at this point... Are they reviving, or are they actually going to reclaim the enemy? It might be... I mean, the fact that they're not reclaiming makes me think that they might be reviving. And yeah, honestly, you know, maybe it's too early to call, but I do think that the top side have won. For yellow, yeah, don't go for Overwatches. Overwatches are, actually depends on certain scenarios. They're not great. They just take too long to build. Honestly, the cheaper option will work as well. And yellow should have focused more on units. Units, cheaper defenses. Things might be different. Yeah, in terms of this, green just had like Green had a clear idea of what the enemy had. And green... Okay, let's pause real quick so I have a chance. So... yeah, green didn't go for any static defenses because they had a radar. And really, that's a very good idea because your opponents can only... unless they're going for hover units, which they're gonna have a hard time sneaking in. A radar here will give you an excellent idea of where your opponents are gonna approach from. So, radar, which are cheaper. I don't remember off the top of my head. Are they cheaper? 60, 630. Yeah. Every bit of cost savings would make a huge difference early on when you don't have the proper economy. So green basically used this, shut down yellow's initial raid, and then start putting pressure. And I do think yellow's low numbers is due to building that Overwatch, which costs so much. Let me check. I don't have these numbers memorized, okay? I mean, I'm assuming they're similar in costs. Yeah, that's 480, 470. Yeah, that is. When you build one of these, not only does it take up time, but it uses up precious resources, which you don't have a lot of early on. Like, maybe if you control more of the map, sure. But much earlier, yeah, it's definitely very difficult to build wardens. And yeah, essentially green was able to notice that yellow didn't have many units, destroy that warden, and basically at that point, with this radar, they had a clear sight of the situation on the enemy side. And like, even if they don't know what those are, they could count and they're like, oh look, the numbers aren't increasing much. And the fact that they took out the bot lab also helps drastically because they know that their opponents cannot replace or at least build up forces very quickly. And building bot labs is expensive. So on this map, if you're controlling one of the flanks, getting a radar tower, just getting information will get you so much further. And as for red, yeah, don't build all these defenses. This isn't fighting against a bot, okay? This is something I like to do in certain scenarios on easy difficulty, beginner, where I build a bunch of defenses. But even then, I need to be aggressive because except for the very easy ones, there are some where you have to be aggressive, right? Yeah, at this point, they might be able to kind of hold out, but honestly, green just has such a better economy. Yes, they have wardens, they have all these guards, but it's just like at this point, they are mostly just contained here. And right now, even blue is coming in. They're sending in maces. I don't know why they're sending crossbows. I haven't seen a single air unit. And yes, you don't always want to wait until your opponent have air units to have... Actually, I guess that's where scouting comes in. Because you definitely don't want to invest in units that you are not going to get a return on. So that crossbow wasn't great. And yeah, some might say, oh look, they can't push through here. But yes, but look how behind red is. They have no economy. They have these units, but their economy can't support it. And once these collapse, red has nothing left. I mean, honestly, if I was green, I would focus down on the bot lab. Or commander, which actually makes more sense. So you could blow everything instantly. So yeah, lesson. Learn the maps well. If you don't need a defensive building where radar tower can do the job, do that. That's what green did. Definitely send out forces because you need to get an idea of how strong your opponents are. if you see your opponent building wardens, then that's a pretty good idea that they don't have a very strong economy, right? Because, or at least they don't have that many units, because that defensive building itself will take up a lot of resources. So I think the lesson of this battle is know the maps, get information, be aggressive, but not like throw everything and give your opponents resources, but be aggressive enough to get information so you know what your opponent are kind of going for, so you could counteract them, or in this case, green just capitalize on yellow's essentially lack of defense. So I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you everyone for watching, and I hope you have a good one.